Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom. And also to you scattered Israelites who may look like the other nations that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, whose spirit is knit and linked with his truth. Shalom. It's the brother Dama Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, as you can see from this title of this article from Zero Hedge, it says, what will happen when they give the green light to millions of radicals to cause widespread chaos all over America? All right. And, the perfect thing that's going to happen has already been prophesied within the Holy Scriptures. All right. One of the terms is the time of Jacob's trouble, which the elect will be saved out of it, and it's just dealing with, because this thing is going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And we know that this is on the elite's agenda to bring the order out of the chaos. And this is why they're allowing millions upon millions of unvetted illegals to flood this country. All right. To cause, to help further bring the chaos and the confusion that's going to come, when, civil war pops off here in this country. They're bringing these migrants in to, further destabilize the economy, to further bring more and more, division amongst citizens and people here, and they're using them, as a way to, to bring in a whole new score of citizens in this country to replace you average everyday Americans here. Bringing in a whole population of, migrants and illegals who will do anything that they're told by the government as long as they can get a handout, as long as they can be, taken care of and receive welfare, free housing, free medical care, as long as they come in here and do as they're told, hey, they'll have a better life than they would ever have had over in the third world country, which they're coming from. And since they'll replace you pampered, so-called highborn American citizens there, which is going to further lead to more and more chaos and more sedition and civil war and all things that the Bible has prescribed and prophesied to happen in the last days here on Babylon the Great, aka spiritual Egypt. All right. And, and the stage is being set and these things are about to take place. And we've been warning, starting with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, ever since we've been on the YouTube, that these days were going to come, and now they're here. And now, all of you, Jake, who's been comfortable here in Babylon the Great in America, all of you who've been, comfortable, that's been walking down to be into Egypt, that haven't, taken the warning seriously. You haven't really inquired at the mouth of the prophets and what the Israelites are out there saying, and been taking heed to what we've been warning is going to come, is now it's about to come upon you unawares, and you're going to be totally steamrolled by it. Because, when you have the opportunity to repent, return to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, to, be woken up into this truth, to be privy to the prophecy and the judgment that the Lord has set to come here in these last days upon the world, and to get your house in order, you refuse and you decline. So now when the Lord allows this, the enemy to come in like a flood and all these prophetic, situations to happen, you're going to be out here totally lost and naked and confused, and you're going to be given over unto it, man. All right. So let me read into some of this article. I got a couple precepts just further proving you that these things that's about to take place have been prophesied. They've already been spoken by the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And it's only a matter of time to where these things are going to come to pass, just like all other prophecy has come to pass. All right. It says violence and crime are already completely out of control all over the United States. In fact, you definitely wouldn't want to be caught in the streets when hordes of our lawless young people are running wild. And you see that right now. You see the spirit and the vibration that these Gen Zers and this young generation are already in, man. They're disrespectful. They don't give a damn about nothing. They don't respect elders. They don't respect authority. They're rude. They're violent. They're just totally, completely out of control, man. All right. So how much more you think these little demons are going to be out here wrecking shop and going completely crazy when the society collapses, man? when there's no more social media, when there's no more BET to watch, when there's no more, they can sit at home and play Call of Duty all day, you know, when this society, as we know it, is completely gone lawless and martial law is out here. These young jigs are going to be out here tearing shit completely up. And then you're going to have all these tens of millions of migrants from all over the world, from Africa, from, the Middle East, from Venezuela, Honduras, all of these unpredictable, unvetted, you know, military age men. A lot of them are murderers, are rapists, are mentally unwell. What do you think is going to happen when they're allowed to, given the green light to just, to be out here just, every man for himself? It's going to be completely and utter chaos and hell out here, man. Like I said, it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. It's going to be a time that has never been since there's been a nation here on this planet Earth. All right. And in the center of it is going to be here in Babylon the Great, where all you comfortable Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans live. It says, "Our things are this bad already. What is going to happen if the election in November does not go the way that leaders want, that leaders on the left want, and they give the green light to millions of radicals to cause widespread chaos all over America?" And remember, all of these migrants coming in, they're under the control of these Democrats, because they're the ones that brought them in, that's promising them all of these things, and they're basically being led and controlled by the Democratic Party, by the Biden administration. So what do you think is going to happen if Biden loses the election and all of a sudden they start making phone calls and telling these sleeper cells and minions that they've hired that cross the border to start to destabilize, to attack Trump supporters, attack Americans, to do this and to do that? It's going to be completely and utter crazy out here, man. And guess what? It's going to be a civil war. Shit, let Trump not win the election. Let them cancel the elections. Let them somehow let Biden stay in office. Hey, the lid is going to blow off of this powder keg, man. And it's going to be complete and utter chaos and martial law, and civil war. And all type of hell is going to happen here in this country. Let me get that first, all right? This is, let me read up and I'm going to come back down to this. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. It says, "I will set the Egyptians." Remember, America is spiritually in the Bible known as Egypt, all right? Because, it's spiritually Egypt because it's dealing with the bondage that the 12 tribes of Israel had to suffer. And, we're suffering bondage here in the spiritual Egypt, which is America. It says, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." You see? And that's what's going to happen when they eventually, that's going to be a huge cause of this election. Either way it goes, it's going to be some form of civil war, but especially if Donald Trump don't win. You see all these red-blooded Americans, these militia groups, they're already preparing and gathering and telling you what's going to happen if Biden steals the election this time, or if they cancel the election, or if they even, they might put a hit out on Trump. Whichever way it's going to turn is going to cause a lot of chaos, and it's going to cause civil war to erupt here in this country. They're going to have to bring in martial law. They're going to have to issue a curfew. You're going to have people out here taking it to the streets, burning shit, rioting, protesting. It's going to cause more and more violence and more confusion. It says, "I think that we got a small preview of what this could look like during the riots of 2020. Unfortunately, since that time, the open border policies of the Biden administration have allowed millions of extremely desperate people to come pouring into this country. The stage is being set for civil unrest on a scale that we have never seen before. And it certainly isn't going to take much to push our society over the edge, because the majority of the people are already over the edge, man. Remember, a lot of these Americans, man, Esau through this pandemic has destroyed a huge amount of the middle class. People have maxed out their credit cards. People are living paycheck to paycheck. You have people who are making over $100,000, yearly, barely surviving. Can't even put food on the table. Can't even pay their bills. And then on top of that, you're bringing in millions of unvetted illegals, but you're giving them tens of thousands of dollars a month to live. Over here in California, talking about giving migrants zero interest and zero down payments so that they can get homes, while the average American ain't getting, no sweet deal like that. A lot of these college students can't even get their debt repaid. People here in America are struggling. They're hurting. They're angry. They're bitter. And how much more you think that's going to affect them if they, continue to stay on this course? Salakia. All right, Salakia. So hey, even these American people, a lot of them are on the verge. A lot of them are going to become unhinged. A lot of them are on the verge of just completely losing it, man. And these devils, these elites, are creating a perfect environment to where they're going to like Klaus Schwab said, prepare for a more angrier world, man. And once these devils really push these American people to the point to where enough is going to be enough, hey, it's going to create, like I just read in Isaiah 19th chapter, Egyptian versus Egyptian. People are going to completely and utterly lose it, man. And they're going to take it out on, on one another before they go and deal with the problem at hand. It says, just look at what is happening in New York City. Crime in the subway system is so bad that Governor Kathy Hochul has decided to call in the National Guard. It says Hochul is sending in the state National Guard to New York City to help police curb a surge in crime in the city's subway. Announcing a fight, blah, 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 blah. It says, I want to get to the point because this article is kind of long. It says, have things gotten so bad that we need to bring in soldiers with guns to keep order on the subways? Apparently so. Mass transit crime is also a major problem in Philadelphia, and it is being suggested that the National Guard should be deployed there too. And this is going to be a common theme in America, man. They're going to start letting crime and letting shit happen, via these migrants. And even, American people, they commit crimes, man. They do things too, but they're going to focus a lot of it on these migrants and on these immigrants, which is going to more and more bring more division and more anger and create more of a separation between the average American citizens and these migrants that they're bringing in. You see, so they're doing these things intentionally. This is why they're depleting, they're getting rid of, police forces all over the country to where their numbers are so small that, they can't really combat or be able to patrol and police, these major cities to where they're going to let crime completely go out of control, man. They're literally green lighting these American citizens to commit these crimes because they want the chaos. They want a reason to have, martial law to bring in the troops, to make it more easier to lock things down, and ultimately to deem eventually in the future that, look, so many people are committing so many crimes, this place is so out of control that we need to bring in a new digital identification system to where everybody can be digitally identified. We need to know who was doing what, because there's so many T attacks, so much crime, so much people running rampant that we can't tag and identify everybody that's just running around doing things. Everybody needs to be digitally identified, man. And it's going to lead ultimately to them putting the MOTB in everybody. You see? And this is where all this shit is really headed. But first, they got to let all the chaos ensue. They got to bring in the violence, the crime. They got to bring in the financial collapse. They got to bring in the cyber attacks, just completely deteriorate and shut down this system as we know it, so that they can come with this new digital beast system. But they're using, the migrants. They're using the inflation, making things harder, making the average American person just feel depleted and useless and just stressed beyond relief, to where they can ultimately control everything. It says Transit Workers Union Local 234 President Brian Pollitt is demanding accountability from Governor Josh Shapiro and Sherelle Parker and SEPTA officials after a string of violent crimes on and around Philadelphia mass transits over the past few weeks. In fact, he's saying he's been calling for National Guard deployment on SEPTA, similar to how New York City has deployed the National Guard. I think the governor needs a round of applause because they're going through the very same thing that we're going through. And remember, and this is going to start being the common theme around all American cities. You see, this is why they want the crime to get out of control. This is why they're depleting the police forces, because they want ultimately to have, a police state. They want to bring in militarized boots on the ground, which can govern and control the cities, because, they're making it seem as if the police are too weak and too feeble to, secure the safety of the people, that they have to bring in the National Guard. It says, I thought dealing with crime was what the police were supposed to do. You see, it says, unfortunately, the police departments in major cities all over the country are now severely underfunded and understaffed. And this is being done intentionally, man. You see, it's all part of the agenda. So that's why we've been telling you, Jay, look, man, the time of Jacob's trouble is about to come. And these devils are about to let complete and utter chaos be unleashed here on these streets in the near future, man. Like I said, it's going to start with it's going to start in a political way. Like I said, they're going to use this whole Donald Trump and Joe Biden election be a huge factor in bringing in civil war, to bringing in more and more chaos, to bringing in more and more sedition and violence and all hell breaking loose in the society. And they're going to let it go for quite a while, man. And what's going to happen in the midst of that? A lot of graping, a lot of infighting, killings, murders. Dead bodies are going to be all over the city, all over the streets. Things are going to be burning down. They're going to let this society get completely out of control. They're going to let it completely get to a Mad Max type of scenario all around the country, man. And then come in and play the saviors. But the point I'm trying to make is that, look, Jacob's trouble is about to happen, man. Hey, the evil days in this society are right around the corner. And you, Jake, two-thirds of our people are not prepared, nor are they even, that's not even on their radar, man. You see, because Jake is too comfortable. Jake is too, comfortable and relaxed here in Babylon the Great. Not knowing that, look, all hell is about to break loose. And the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to be unleashed here in this society, man. It's about to be great death, famine, and destruction coming to Babylon the Great. And majority of our people are not ready. They ain't even thinking about it. They're not even aware of it. They're just going on, living their lives, just doing whatever the hell the average Negro, Latino, and Native American does here in Babylon the Great, which is watch sports, smoke weed, drink, party, bullshit, walk in their pride and walking in pride and idolatry. Just they're living their daily wicked lives, thinking that nothing is going to happen unto them. But you're sadly mistaken. It says, in Pittsburgh, the situation is so dire that police no longer respond to calls involving theft, harassment, criminal mischief, and burglary. See? And so in Pittsburgh, they ain't even answering the call. If you got somebody breaking into your house, you got somebody harassing you, you got anything happening, they're not going to come to the call, man. So what is that's going to lead to? You're going to have to take matters into your own hands. They're letting the criminal element basically have the green light to just do whatever the hell they want to do, man. And I was reading an article. You got a lot of these migrants, a lot of these Venezuelan, Colombian gang members operating here in America, who have a highly sophisticated ring of they're going into these rich areas and they're doing all these burglaries, man. They're using like drones and shit like that to stake out the rich houses in these areas here in America, and they're robbing them motherfuckers blind, man. They're coming in with a face mask on, their faces are covered, and they're going into these high-end houses and breaking into them and stealing all type of shit. And then they'll get up and leave, and they'll go to the next state. They'll go to Arizona, they'll go to Texas, they'll go to Beverly Hills, and they're just moving around all these different areas that they're not even they might be, their sanctuary city might be in Arizona. They'll drive all the way to California, man, and stake out these rich houses and rob them, and then go back to wherever they were stationed at, and then go to the next state. So they're basically just giving the green light for this place to turn into Gotham City. It says WPXI Channel 11 out of Pittsburgh report that police will no longer be responding to calls that are not deemed to be in progress emergencies, meaning theft, harassment, criminal mischief, and burglary alarms will essentially be ignored. Such calls will instead be redirected to an answer machine, according to the report, which also notes that from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., the city's 6 police stations will operate without desk officers present. So basically from 3 to 7 a.m. that they're letting the annual purge commit. And it's going to be like that on a major scale in the near future, man. It says only around 20 officers will be available for overnight shifts to cover the entire city. The report further notes, stating that the decision has been taken due to understaffing. Seriously? So if you own a home in Pittsburgh and someone is robbing you, what are you supposed to do? We have really reached a point in our societal decline where the wheels are coming off right now in front of our eyes. And that's true. And it's all going to lead to complete and utter chaos and Jacob's trouble. And look at this. In Oakland, crime is so bad that 4 out of 5 of the Taco Bell restaurants in the city have completely closed their dining rooms because these people are animals, man. These people are unhinged. These people are not operating with a full deck. The Lord got spirits and demons on these people out here, man. These people are totally off the chain. And this is while society is still somewhat intact. So can you imagine when all hell literally breaks loose in this society, the manner of death, the manner of rapes, the manner of violence that's going to be literally out here on the streets of America in the near future, man? And this is why we've been telling you, Jake, man, look, this place is finished. You need to totally check out of having any long-term investments or having a 5-year, 2-year, 10-year plan here in Babylon the Great, man. This is not your rest. This is not the kingdom of heaven, man. Hey, we're at the point to where the Lord is about to deliver his elect out of Babylon the Great. All right. The Lord is about to bring the judgment and the avengement that, this place deserves. All right. He's about to let this place completely deteriorate and totally just spiral completely out of control. And, all you Jakes who have your faith and trust in America and in this system and in the almighty dollar and, and in your bank account and, you think you're going to flip your house and Jake finally figuring out ways to make money here in this society, your podcasting and you selling all your merchandise, all of this little money that you're making and the little, Jake doing a little bit better in this society is all about to mean absolutely nothing when this devil decides to pull the plug on this society. You see? And that's why your faith needs to be in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai now before the evil days come, man. Before all hell breaks loose and to where, the only thing that's going to matter is if you have treasure stored up in the heavens with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Otherwise, you're going to be a prey and open to all of this shit that's going on out here, man. Remember, and the Lord is bringing all of these things as forms of judgment and scourges for amendment for all of the wicked of our people. It says Taco Bell restaurants in Oakland, California have been forced to suspend indoor dining indefinitely after being subject to a series of robberies amid an unrelenting crime surge in the city. 4 out of 5 Taco Bell locations across the Bay Area city now have large signs hanging from their windows advising dining room closed. And another thing, aside from the robberies, if you get one of these crazy niggas order wrong, they'll jump the counter and start beating the shit out of the employee or smashing the counters, tossing over the cash register, throwing cups, throwing a goddamn fit because their French fries was cold or you misplaced a part of their order, man. So this place is completely spiraling completely out of control, man. All right. It says businesses have been restricted to drive-through services only. Sad news reality for many customers and families hoping to sit down for a peaceful meal. Shit, you can't even do that anymore. It says theft is absolutely rampant in America today. Organized retail crime has become a multi-billion-dollar industry in the United States, and according to CNBC, some of these groups actually have very sophisticated facilities that are indistinguishable from other e-commerce distribution centers. But federal agents with Homeland Security investigations, the Department of Homeland Security's law enforcement branch says some crime groups are even more elaborate, and theft is just one facet of their enterprises. We're talking about operations that have fleets of trucks, 18-wheelers that have palletized loads of stolen goods, that have cleaning crews that actually clean the goods to make them look brand new, said Adam Parks. And if they know all this, why are they not stopping it then? See, it's because, hey, they're playing a huge part in it. A lot of these criminal elements are being directed and quarterbacked by these departments, man. Because, here it is. These niggas got this highly sophisticated, all this money they put into weaponry, all this money they put into war and surveillance and spying on everybody. They don't know where these people operate and who's running the shit. Come on, man. Because they know who's doing it. They're behind it. They're helping it. Because this is part of the agenda of these elites, man. You see? Yeah, man. So we're just showing you just how bad everything is getting into. And it says here, look, and I'm gonna get into these precepts. It says, earlier today I came across an article about the 50 most violent cities in the world, and if you can believe it, 46 of them are actually in the Western Hemisphere. To qualify for a list, a city or metropolitan area must have at least 300,000 inhabitants. The calculations are based on the rate of homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. Of the 50 most violent cities of the 2023 list, 46 were in the Western Hemisphere. The only exceptions were 4 cities in South Africa. I suppose that most of you will not be surprised to learn that Mexico had most of the cities on the list. And guess what? A lot of them unsavory fellows have crossed the border and now they're here in the United States, man, which is all part of the agenda. You see? It says, with such stream, it says United States was number 4 on the list with 6 cities. So imagine when, like I said, you just got to picture the scenario when all hell breaks loose, man. When they do a cyber attack and the debit cards don't swipe and the banks are closed, the grocery stores are shut down, the power is out. When people's groceries in their house that's in the freezer goes bad or go moldy because there's no electricity to keep it cold, and people's food, that they had in the refrigerator is being wasted and they can't eat and things get really bad. The desperation that's going to sink in on these people out here, man. It's going to literally be, like I said, it's going to be a time that's never has been since there's been a nation on the earth. And when you couple that with the fact that the American population has never had to experience, third world type conditions, a lot of these people are not built for this type of stress and this type of lack thereof, man. People are going to absolutely lose it. And I'm going to show you this in the scriptures. It's all being prophesied. The stage is being set and we're entering into these times, man. It says, with such extreme violence raging just across our southern border, you would think that our leaders would be doing all that they can to keep us safe. But instead, the Biden administration has been allowing millions upon millions of people to come pouring in. And remember, a lot of these people coming in are military age men. Shit, a lot of these guys are criminals that they released out of the prisons, freely. Look, we'll let you out of prison. Just go across the border and go into America. They'll let you in there. Go fuck up their shit. You can go over there and terrorize, rape, pillage, do whatever you want to do. Just get the hell out of our country. And they're all pouring in here to Babylon the Great for this day that these devils are gonna let the annual purge commit, man. You see? It says, our migration crisis is fueling a growth explosion for criminal gangs all over the nation. And these are violent gangs, man. These are those MS-13 motherfuckers who chop heads off, who cut their woman's vagina off for, committing adultery on them, that do those sorcery and witchcraft and ritual killings and shit. That, a lot of these guys are known rapists, man, known murderers, known thieves, known criminals, man. And what do you think they're going to result to when, I said, the green light is given to them to survive by any means, to come here to America where shit is abundant and these people are, sitting ducks. They're going to totally get it in every way, man. All right. It says, we are also experiencing a crime wave of epic proportions, but I'm extremely concerned about what would happen if things go a certain way in November. And what's in November? The election, man. And that's what I said. And that's what's going to commence to that Isaiah 19:19. And let me get that, man. See, I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. It says, if they don't win the election, leaders on the left may decide to make it very clear that it's time for civil disobedience on a massive scale. I have been warning about civil unrest that will completely and utterly tear this country apart for many years. And guess what? That's what's going to happen. And ultimately, that's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's how he's going to further destabilize and crumble Babylon the Great. Remember, this is a thing being done by the will of the Lord. And it's ultimately to be a recompense and a judgment upon Babylon the Great, which we've been warning you, Jake, about. And a lot of you women are going to get caught up in this sweep. A lot of you women are going to be visited during this day. All of you women that are at ease, that's you OnlyFans hoes, a lot of you proud Israelite women, I don't need a man, and I can do bad by myself. You got your degrees, you're making your own money, which a lot of you bras that are got college degrees and so-called independent and living on your own and making your own money, a lot of you hoes are depressed. A lot of y'all are going through it. But you want to fake and act as if you're doing good all by yourself. A lot of you hoes is lonely. A lot of you are depressed. Hey, a lot of these men are waking up to your bullshit, so they don't want your ass, and you're miserable. Well, you're about to be really miserable when all of that feminism goes out the window, when it's going to be the survival of the fittest out here. And you ain't going to have no man to protect you. Ain't no man going to want you in that day. He's just going to take whatever you got, and he's going to take your ass, man. So this is why being humble is a very serious thing, man. And a lot of bad things are going to happen to a lot of you men as well. Because you've been trusting in Babylon the Great for too goddamn long. And your trust in this place is all going to come to your destruction, man. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 19. It says, Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. You see? And there is a perverse, warped, weird, degenerate spirit here in America, man. All right. And it's only going to intensify and get even more worse when the Lord allows this, this civil unrest and all hell to break loose. It says, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And this is why everything is destabilizing. The economy is staggering. The government is staggering. But morally, financially, on every level, this place is just staggering and it's just crumbling and it's getting worse and worse to where iniquity is going to abound so much that the love of many is going to wax cold. It says, Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. You see? So there ain't no fixing this place, pretty much, man. It's just going one direction, and that direction is down. It says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it, which is going to be the judgment he's going to bring, the destabilization, the chaos, the infighting, the civil war, the sedition, you know. And I'm going to show you. It says, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Man, Jake gonna wild out here. You know, you see these little young Jakes already wilding out. Imagine in that day. Imagine, when it's just complete lawlessness and nobody's coming to the rescue. There's no 911. There's no police. There's no civil, peace going on in this country, man. Jake gonna be out here turning up, burning shit down, burning buildings down, going into the government buildings, going, looking for their local politicians and leaders and everybody that's supposed to be some form of, higher up. Hey, they're gonna be looking for you guys with a noose, you know. It says, and it shall be afraid and fear because, I read that. It says, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt, and everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid of himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he have determined against it. See, which is ultimately to bring major chaos and destabilization here to Babylon the Great. It says, many of our major cities. It says, I've been warning about civil unrest that will completely and utterly tear this country apart for many years, and I believe that we are now right on the brink of seeing that happen. Many of our major cities have reached a point where they are literally on the verge of being ungovernable, and America is becoming a little bit more lawless with each passing day. Yeah, and that's what this is talking about right here. This is in other words, to answer the title of this article, right? It says, what will happen when they give the green light to millions of radicals to cause widespread chaos all over America? Well, the answer is 2 Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And what's the modern day sword? Is a gun. And this is what's coming to Babylon the Great. And that article is telling you, look, he knows that this is on the brink of happening. And we've been telling you this for many, many years. What the fuck? You see? It says, for there shall be sedition among men. And the word sedition means a rising up against the government. Like I said, let this whole election go haywire. Let them not let Trump win, which everybody knows he should win by a landslide. Let them cheat and not let Trump win the presidency, and they fucking let Biden win again. Or if they cancel the elections and people can see that it was a hoax and it was all fraud because they know that Trump was going to win. So they, do a cyber attack at that time and blame it on Russia that they're, hacking the machines to where we can't count the votes. So therefore Biden has to stay in. These people will go absolutely ape shit. And you're going to have something like that's going to happen. I can't tell you exactly what, but we know something that they have something planned, It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see, people are going to have when all hell breaks loose, people are going to be able to take matters into their own hands. You see? And that's going to be part of that civil war, more of the, the race riots, you're going to have people at one another's throat for whatever reason, the have versus the have nots, Democrats versus Republicans. Shit, you're going to have the alphabet people versus hetero people, It's just going to be divisions on every side, and it's going to further to tear this country apart, man. And nobody's going to be able to stop these people. They're going to put in curfews and have martial law. People ain't going to give a damn. It's going to be complete and utter chaos. And, and I've been reading reviews about that got Civil War, and they're saying that movie is a classic. That, the way that he depicts what's going to happen in that movie, people said they were, it was bone chilling. So, got to go check that movie out. But, hey, but that's going to be a real thing. And I'm reading about it now. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see, this is what's going to happen when these people get the green light to just tear the city apart, man, this country apart. And we see it taking place. We're seeing it being prepared, and we see it about to happen pretty soon, man. All right. I think I had another precept. Did I? No. Did I? Yeah. This is Amos 6:1. It says, those at ease in Zion. It says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion. Talking about you tribes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And a lot of you are at ease here in America, man. You acting like you ain't worried about nothing. You just going along every day as if these things that we've been prophesying about are not literally unfolding before your eyes, man. But you just going on, you feel as long as you don't acknowledge it, as long as you don't have to believe it, that it's not going to come. And it is going to come. And it's going to catch you all off guard, man. And that trust in the mountain of Samaria, which can be synonymous unto America. Of course, this is dealing with the northern tribes. When they went into Samaria, they was comfortable there. They were at ease there. They wasn't, worried. They were, doing all right. And the last thing on their mind was doing the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And it's the same thing here in America, man. You can compare our people being at ease here in America, just like Zion was at ease in Samaria, man. It says, which are named chief of the nations to whom the house of Israel came. Pass ye unto Calne and see, and from thence go you to Hamath the great. Then go down to Gath of the Philistines. Be they better than these kingdoms? Or their border greater than your border? And when you go into Calne, Hamath, and the Philistines, these were ancient civilizations that were at ease. They had high fortified cities. They were doing okay. They were comfortable in their wickedness. But guess what? They got touched by the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, just like America is the modern day, Calne and Hamath, the place that dwells carelessly, a place that has our people completely comfortable in all of their pride and their arrogance and their wickedness. But guess what? It's going to be touched when the Lord allow this place to be destabilized, man. When he allows these great judgments to come forth upon this place. And you niggas are going to get swept right along with it. It says, ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near. And that's Jake, man. They're putting off far the evil day. We've been telling them that, these days were going to come here to America. But Jake said, y'all niggas been saying that. Talk about something new, And now, Jake is getting a little bit of money. They're finding out how to finesse this system. They're finding out ways to use the internet and artificial intelligence to get money and to get them a bag. Now, the last thing they're thinking about is this place ever being touched by the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And it's all good because you're going to be mistaken. It says that lie upon beds of ivory and that stretch themselves upon their couches and eat the lambs out of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol and invent to themselves instruments of music like David, that drink wine in bowls and anoint themselves with the chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph. See, and that's the majority of our people here in America. They ain't thinking about, the prophecies, the prophets, their future. Doing the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're just completely comfortable here. They're just completely comfortable here, man. And they ain't thinking about doing anything as far as the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're just worried about themselves, And that's why, hey, when this judgment comes, it's going to be heat seeked and targeted right on their asses, man. It says, therefore now shall they go captive with the first that go captive, and the banquet of them that stretch themselves shall be removed. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has sworn by himself, saith Yahweh, the God of hosts, I abhor the excellency of Jacob and hate his palaces. Therefore will I deliver the city with all that is therein. You see? And that's what ultimately the Lord is going to do. He's going to give you, Jake, over unto this great judgment and this great time of Jacob's trouble that's vastly approaching, man. And it's right here and on the brink of happening. Hey, and you've been warned. We've been telling you. So the blood is off of our hands, man. But as you can see, man, hey, the handwriting is on the wall already, man. And it's only a matter of if. Now, it's just a matter of when, not if, man. And we see the stage being set. We see the judgment is about to come forth. And you, Jakes, who ain't prepared or who hasn't made the proper adjustments, hey, you're going to be given over to these things. And hey, the Lord's going to allow his judgment to rest upon you. So I know I was long-winded lesson, but Lord willing, this was edifying at the same time. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me through this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Until the next one, shalom.